Alright, so I'm just going to tell my experience with a Nigerian scammer. Actually, it was quite a few. And how I almost got scammed. And I feel the need to tell people this because there's a lot of people getting scammed, not just by Nigerians, but the way that they're getting scammed. Alright, so what happened to me was I had an online business. And it was basically where I sold goods from an online hub that I sold like Game Boys, electronics. You could sell anything, but electronics were the hottest things. Well, of course, when you have this type of business, everybody knows about it. They're going to try to get the goods and resell them and upsell them. And it's just a natural thing to do. They don't really want to use them or play with the items or anything like that. They just want to, So a company like Amazon or something like that, you can sell stuff on. I've sold stuff on Amazon, eBay, and things along that line. But nonetheless, so when you're selling things online, you're doing it all through emails and stuff like that. You never see the people. Nonetheless, this was years ago, but it was back in 2008 and 9. So basically what I did was, once I went and, had my items set up that I was going to sell, you get a flood of emails that come in. And when these emails come in, they're always from weird names. Tom, John. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, it's just a weird, it's like, I don't know anybody named Tom, or Tom John, or John Smith, or Mark. It was always just weird names, and you just knew they weren't from America, and or they wasn't real. So what one of the scammers did was they would all ask me the same thing, and these are hundreds of emails I'm getting. They all asked me the same thing, and they were like, can you release the items to me once I send you the money? And then they would argue with me, like to get me to try to release the money. So I would, or release the item, but I would never release the item. So one person actually said, I'm going to send you the money, which was equivalent of $4,000 plus, because they wanted like 8 Game Boys, and they were hot at that time. I'm going to send you the money, FedEx. Give me your address. So I gave them my address, and they FedExed me the money. And once, FedEx delivered at my door, I was like, okay, things seem to be legit. Now, the whole time, it took like a couple days. They're asking me, did I get the money yet? Did I get the money? And go ahead and release the items. They're trying to get me to release the items before actually FedEx got there. So when FedEx actually got there, I opened up there, just like I said, there was a money order for $4,000 plus. I was like, okay, fine. I had to sign for it. They knew that I received. They were like, go ahead and release the items. I was like, no, I'm not going to release the items yet. Then they started to threaten me. Release the items. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to, and I was like, I wish you would call the police. You calling me names, this, that, and the third. And I said, I'm not going to release the items until I put this in the bank and the bank clears it. So I went, and I didn't even use my regular bank account. I used a whole new bank. I opened up a whole new bank account. I took $100 out of it, because you're allowed to do that. And I knew that bank was going to check that amount of money, especially when they saw me. They were afraid of me because they were a bunch of, racist people. They were scared to death that I walked in there. It was like I was coming there to do them some disservice. So I put the money in the bank. I waited a couple days. They said this check was no good, this money order. And I was like, why? They said because of the routing number. Everything was correct. All the bank numbers, everything, except the last digit on the routing number. It was wrong. So it was a fraudulent check. And they closed the account. I gave them back their $100, and that was the end of it. But the person, I told him, I said, you tried to rip me off. The check didn't clear, yada, yada, yada. Well, they must not have got the picture. I mean, their persistence was ridiculous. They kept pressuring me and kept pressuring me. And to try to release these Game Boys to them, there's no way I wouldn't have done it. Then they sent me another phony money order. And when I looked at it, I just ripped it up and got rid of it. Because I knew if I took that and did the same thing, then, the feds will be all over me for trying to cash fake money orders. And I just didn't need that type of noise. Even the bank said, you tried to defraud us. I was like, how? I said, I closed the account. I took out $100. I gave you $100 back. How did I try to defraud you? You know what I'm saying? And they had no answer, so I just never went back to that bank. Nonetheless, so I just, there's a lot of people going through these scams. Everybody done been scammed one way or another before. We get scammed every month through insurance. That's a scam. Pay us $100 just in case something happens. But nonetheless, so I have another story where recently, this year, I was going to sell my Mac. I have a 2013 Mac that I was going to sell. And I put it on Craigslist. And when I put it on Craigslist, some people were asking about it. And then I noticed one of those strange names again. You know what I'm saying? And this person was like, will you take a money order? And I was like, no. I should have said yeah just to see how far it would go. But I already knew what it was. I was like, no. So, to you guys and ladies out there who are messing around online and you see these strange Tom John and John Tom and all these crazy names, just know that it's a good chance they're Nigerians because that's their bag. That's how they scam. There's people who scam all over the world. But that's definitely them that are doing it. They're sitting behind the desk in logos somewhere, and they're just scamming people left and right. And don't get caught up in it because they're not who they say they are, and they're not going to send you $4,000 for some online products. If you ever do get a check or a money order, make sure that you do not put it in your account, because once your account is dinged for fraudulent activity, the feds are going to start looking at you, or that bank might just close your account, and or they might seize all the money in your account. So do not put those, money orders from anybody into, not unless you've already done transactions with them, into an account that's active, that you use every day. You use to feed your kids and, your bills. Don't do it because the banks will seize that account, and it takes them forever to release it. You can be under investigation for a whole year, and you will not get that money. So here's a warning to you. If you're going to do it, go to a whole different bank, do the whole process. It's worth the time. Put it in there, see if the check clears. If it clears, you just have another bank account, no big deal. If it doesn't, you just walk away from it like nothing happened, and then don't deal with those people again. It's your boy Tone 202.